Astronauts Butch and Suni finally back on Earth. After 9 months in space, NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams have finally arrived back on Earth. Their SpaceX capsule made a fast and fiery re-entry through the Earth's atmosphere, before 4 parachutes opened to take them to a gentle splashdown off the coast of Florida. A pod of dolphins circled the craft. After a recovery ship lifted it out of the water, the astronauts beamed and waved as they were helped out of the hatch, along with fellow crew members astronaut Nick Hague and cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov. "The crew's doing great," Steve Stitch, manager, NASA's Commercial Crew Program, said at a news conference. "It brings to an end a mission that was supposed to last for just 8 days. It was dramatically extended after the spacecraft Butch and Suni had used to travel to the International Space Station suffered technical problems. It is awesome to have Crew 9 home, just a beautiful landing," said Joel Montalbano, Deputy Associate Administrator, NASA's Space Operations Mission Directorate. Thanking the astronauts for their resilience and flexibility, he said SpaceX had been a great partner. The journey home took 17 hours. The astronauts were helped onto a stretcher, which is standard practice after spending so long in the weightless environment. They will be checked over by a medical team, and then reunited with their families. "The big thing will be seeing friends and family and the people who they were expecting to spend Christmas with," said Helen Sharman, Britain's first astronaut. "All of those family celebrations, the birthdays and the other events that they thought they were going to be part of, now, suddenly they can perhaps catch up on a bit of lost time." The saga of Butch and Suni began in June 2024. They were taking part in the first crewed test flight of the Starliner spacecraft, developed by aerospace company Boeing. But the capsule suffered several technical problems during its journey to the space station, and it was deemed too risky to take the astronauts home. Starliner returned safely to Earth empty in early September, but it meant the pair needed a new ride for their return. So NASA opted for the next scheduled flight, a SpaceX capsule that arrived at the ISS in late September. It flew with 2 astronauts instead of 4, leaving 2 seats spare for Butch and Suni's return. The only catch was this had a planned 6-month mission, extending the astronauts' stay until now. The NASA pair embraced their longer-than-expected stay in space. They carried out an array of experiments on board the orbiting lab and conducted spacewalks, with Suni breaking the record for the woman who spent the most hours outside of the space station. And at Christmas, the team dressed in Santa hats and reindeer antlers, sending a festive message for a Christmas that they had originally planned to spend at home. And despite the astronauts being described as stranded, they never really were. Throughout their mission there have always been spacecraft attached to the space station to get them, and the rest of those on board, home if there was an emergency. Now the astronauts have arrived home. They will soon be taken to the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, where they will be checked over by medical experts. Long-duration missions in space take a toll on the body. Astronauts lose bone density and suffer muscle loss. Blood circulation is also affected, and fluid shifts can also impact eyesight.